channel. Today I'm going to share with you what I'm working on. So I have quite a little assembly line going on here, and I'll pan the camera down and show you. But about a month and a half ago, I received a whole bunch of cases of McDonald's barbecue sauce. Now, there's a story behind it. The last time we were at the food truck, we were unloading skids and skids of this sauce, and we still had a half a skid left. I only took 2 cases. There's 16 pouches in a case, but I'm canning that. I'm going to interrupt this broadcast for a very important message. I make a living making YouTube videos, and so while I did a lot of videos on cleaning up, that doesn't mean I'm not going to can food, and that doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to make videos teaching and sharing with you all kinds of aspects of my life. In order to make videos on YouTube, you have to create content, and this is one of the videos that I made to share with people something different they can do as far as canning. If you read the description box below my videos, you're going to get a fuller understanding that I am a content creator that makes content, all kinds of content, in order to make a living on YouTube. This canning is my method, not USDA regulated. Alright, since we got that all cleared up, now let's get back to having fun, shall we? McDonald's was torn down so they can build a bigger and better one, and the food they donated to our local area, and that's where the food truck had all of this food from McDonald's. That is a first for me. I have never gleaned, so-called gleaning, food from McDonald's. We got rid of half the skid, but there was still half the skid left. I guess pigs eat it. I don't know what they did with the rest of it, but I only took what I could, and I gave away what I could, and so I am working on 32 quarts of barbecue sauce from McDonald's. I've done lots and lots of videos on recanning and the whole process of recanning. People want to know, well, how do I know what time, the time variations of recanning? All of my recanning, I go by the time if it was fresh. So if you're making barbecue sauce, it's usually about 35 to 45 minutes in a water bath. Spaghetti sauce, you want to do about 45 minutes in a water bath. So I go by that. I also did an extensive video on sharing with people what you don't recan and what you can recan. I recan basically only water bath items, so high acid items like pickles and barbecue sauce and ketchup and mustard, which I have a lot of that sitting below me here. I have to do some ketchup and mustard as well. So I recan all of the high acid items. Another question is, when you can it, do you roll back the date? I've been really trying to research this, and what I found on the internet is people, when I say people, they're just regular people, are saying that yes. So if you have barbecue sauce that expires like mine in July of 2021, if you can it, that will set it back for another year to 2 years. But here we go. The biggest flaw in our food chain system is the expiration dates. People see an expiration date and immediately say, oh, it's expired, let's throw it out. But that is not the case. The case is they put a date on the food simply because that is how they know their production line. And so the production line always has a number and a date behind it. That doesn't mean that's when it expires, especially if you're working with canned items or high acid items. Now, milk and dairy is a little different. But when you're going by tin cans or canned items, please, people, understand that your items are good for a year to 2 years to 3 years after expiration date. Common sense is really lacking in these days. The old-timers didn't just throw things away. When in doubt, you do throw it out if you're concerned about maybe it's not sealed correctly, or it doesn't look right, or it doesn't smell right. When in doubt, you throw it out. And I do that as well. But if you have something canned in a commercial tin can, or you can it, and you canned it correctly, and you canned it and stored it properly, and it's sealed, you're fine. And people are really waking up to the food waste in America and other countries. And I'm also going to share with you that in the 80s, they actually made a law in effect that grocery stores can give food away. It's called the Good Samaritan Act. And they can give food away, and they don't have to have any repercussions from it. A lot of people don't know about that, but the grocery stores, there is an act in there that they are not liable if they give food away. I think that's an amazing thing, and I think there's a lot of major cities that are starting now to donate more of their food. But they're very heavy. Really heavy. These cases of McRib sauce, basically it's barbecue sauce. I looked at the ingredients, and I'm recanning that today. Recanning your food is amazing. And why is that? Because for me, you can see it makes common sense. But if you go to Costco and you go to places that have restaurant quality food, you have big number 10 cans of something. A lot of people don't have large families, and there's no way they can eat all that. But bulk food is often cheaper than if you buy it in small quantities. So things like ketchup and mustard and condiments and things like that are great to recan. Yes, I know mustard has a shelf life, but for me, I really don't want to have mustard, big jars of mustard in my refrigerator. I like to break it down into small pint-sized containers and then put it on my shelf and get one out as I need it. That has saved me so much money. The same with ketchup. Yes, ketchup lasts a long time in your refrigerator, but who wants big number 10 cans of ketchup? So we break it down into smaller amounts. It saves me tons of money. Now another question is, I know canning jars are expensive, but before all of this took place, I was storing up canning jars and I was getting them for anywhere from 10 cents to 25 cents a quart. If you want to start out canning today, yes, it will be hard, but for someone like me, I prepared 20 years ago to have canning stuff. Lids can be very expensive. Another thing for me is I save up my money for it. So if I get birthday money or if I get Christmas money, I would save my money up for canning lids, because to me that's a priority. So it doesn't cost me anything. I'm canning today and it cost me basically nothing, because I had jars from the yard sale and jars from Grandma Fanny and jars from all over the place for basically nothing, and my lids didn't cost me anything because I used birthday money. Or if you save up points, if you have a credit card and you save up points, you can save up points for your lids. And once a year, I will go to Tractor Supply and get them 50% off. Or once a year, I go to BlaneFarmandFleet.com, and they have them for only about $3 a pack. And then they have free shipping one day only. And that is back in August. And then I buy enough for 2 years. I keep my lids stocked up 2 to 3 years in advance. I don't wait to the last minute when it's canning season and try to find items. All winter long, you've seen at my thrift store, they have canning jars. They're anywhere from 50 cents to 35 cents. I can pick them up there if I need them. But you have to buy all of these things when it's not in season, and that's what saves you a lot of money. Alright, so I did one case already. I have them in my Ball Fresh Tech electric canner, which keeps the water boiling solid, and it's great. It's very efficient for me instead of running propane. I have one batch in, one batch ready to go, and then one batch I'm working on now. I can this because it's quartz. I will can it for 45 minutes. So I wanted to show you what the kitchen looks like. Now, all of these need to seal. I'm starting to seal them. There's one box that's finished. And there's my Fresh Tech electric canner, which I really like, because even with the lid is off, it maintains a boil. And there's the next batch. So this is what it looks like when you're canning all of this food. So one case held 16 32 ounces at a whopping 37.8 pounds. I have 2 cases of the barbecue sauce, 1 case of ketchup, and 2 gallons of mustard. That is a lot of food that came from McDonald's when they were tearing down their building. And I'll show you when everything's cleaned up and everything's done.